Thank you. So, I'd like some help and some information with an aspect of this that I don't have any understanding or clarity in. I'd like you to talk about how it is and what's involved and who's involved with the decision that our inner being makes about when and where and why we choose to focus a bit of ourselves in this reality.
Well, when you were non-physically focused, there was no split energy. So the who was you, but it was the you, the non-physical you. It was your evolved perspective and your desire as a creator to be in the best environment that is conducive to creation.
I get that. I'm interested and intrigued into what goes into that decision. Why this body? Why not somebody else's body?
Because the intention that you held, we're going to tell you this quick story. When Esther sat to receive us for the first time, so she'd been encouraged by someone else to meditate. She didn't know what it meant. Quiet your mind, sit in a quiet room, wear comfortable clothing, focus on your breathing, and when your mind wanders as it will, release the thought. So Esther sat with Jerry for 9 months every day for 15 or 20 minutes and breathed, which was what she focused upon to help her release thought. And in the process, early on during that 9 months, she connected with us enough that she was receiving our thoughts. She didn't know they were our thoughts. She thought they were her thoughts because they were being translated from a vibration into a thought. And the thoughts sounded like her language and felt familiar to her as she was translating them. So it took a while for us to help her to realize that she was receiving something that was beyond her thought process. So her first translation, once she allowed us to move her head, she wouldn't allow us to translate into words because she believed that that was her words, but she was allowing movement, so we were moving her head like she was writing on a chalkboard. And we said, I am Abraham. Well, we were translating, we are Abraham, but she couldn't translate we, because her belief system was that she was reaching for something that was singular. And so, I am Abraham. Why Abraham? Why was Abraham the label? Not because it is a name of someone who lived that we represent in any specific way, but because it was the best label that Esther could find in her non-religious understanding of things that translated into who we are. It was just the best label that represented the whole of what we are. And so that's the part that we want you to hear from us. This physical human beingness was the best, and we don't just mean sort of kind of good. We mean the perfect vehicle that represented the intentions that you held as you were making the intention to come forth into this physical experience. And it would take longer than this physical lifetime to fill you in on all the details of that.
And I'm sure this is unanswerable, or how long is a piece of string?
Did the last question feel unanswered?
No.
Then this is not unanswerable.
Okay. Other than alignment, is there another way for me to contact not only my higher self, inner being,
No.
but also...
You have to align. You have to be in the vibrational vicinity. Can't set your radio dial at 101 AM and hear what's being broadcast on 97 FM.
I'm intrigued about trying to reach other aspects of where my consciousness has split off.
Why?
I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I think it would be fun. I think it would be interesting. I think I could learn from it.
Ask that question with more detail then. Here's what we're seeing. You are in this physical body precisely as you intended to be.
Right.
And in this physical body, you've created a vibrational reality that your inner being is so excited about because it represents everything you intended when you made the decision to come forth into this physical body.
Right.
And now You want something other than that?
No, now I'm interested to know whether or not there are other universes, realms, other parts of my consciousness that have chosen other bodies or beings.
But that contradicts the very thing that we were just talking about. Your question was, so who made the decision? And we said your inner being did. So the decision was this body, this time, this space, this planet. So that's the intention that is in your vortex. And you're saying, but what about other planets? What about other times and other bodies and other places? And we say, of course, you have the right to think about anything. But you started out by asking us about pre-birth intentions. And doesn't it feel logical that pre-birth intentions would be really a dominant factor in your vortex? And doesn't it feel logical that things you've picked up along your physical trail would be really dominant in this vortex? And don't you want to follow the vibrational calling of what's in your vortex? Curiosity is one thing. Powerful intention to return to the wholeness of who I am, not just was, but who I've become. Does that feel bigger?
Yes.
Yeah. So, of course we want you to satisfy your curiosity, but don't be surprised if your inner being is not that interested in the subject.
Okay.
And so you won't find a lot of alignment with that. You can find alignment with a lot of other people, conspiracy theorists and people that are not that actively involved in the deliberate evolution of their own life experience. Everything is possible. But what we want you to feel is the intensity of the alignment that you feel when you hook up with the interest of your inner being. If you want zest for life, then you want to be a vibrational match to what your inner being is offering a vibration about. For these reasons, do you recall us saying that your inner being never looks back and is always looking forward?
Yep.
But your inner being is looking forward in the direction of the things that you have set into motion. Your inner being is not distracted by other things. And of course you can be, but when you tune to the fullness of your inner being, we promise you there is enough satisfaction in those intentions. There just is enough. There is enough. Everything is about your alignment with the whole of who you are. And here's a sort of not great but thought-provoking example. You set forth an intention to have a lovely day, and you've been tuned in, turned on, and you've been following your impulse. And you are sitting in this place with people that are lovely to be with, and there is delicious food here. And you are slowly and sensitively and in a conscious way focused upon the positive aspects of this now moment, as is your inner being. Your inner being knows the vitality in this food and the benefit that it is to you. And when you're tuned in, you know it too, and you feel an eagerness for it. Your inner being cares about your satisfaction and joy factor. You being satisfied is of highest priority to your inner being. And so you're focused with your inner being, and the satisfaction factor is sublime. So you're wide open, and this delicious nutrition is being allowed because of the thought that you are thinking by the cells of your body who have been requesting it long before you sat down here. And in your decided appreciation, you're open to the benefit at so many levels of your being we can't even begin to describe it, as compared to one who's sitting there wondering where else they could have eaten, what other things people are eating somewhere else. Did I make the right decision about being here right now? Can you sort of feel the analogy? Mm-hmm. Oh, when you focus in your now with your inner being who's focused in your now, the fantasticness of this moment of time is indescribable. And then again, split energy is split energy, you see. Helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Enough?
Yep.